In this tutorial, you'll learn how to trigger code when interacting with a rendered web form. From the Qodly front end, you can call orda data model functions to run some code and handle your data. Here is the data model. Some employees have tasks to handle. We have a welcome web form. We want to display some general information about the application. Let's write the code for that. In the data store class, let's add the getAppInfo function. It returns a message with the number of employees and tasks. Back to the welcome web form. We refresh the Qodly page to have this newly created function available. We create an AppInfo data source. Its type is string. When this welcome web form is loaded, we call the getAppInfo function. We select the onload event and set up the function call. The result must go in the AppInfo data source. Note the preview of the called function code on the right-hand side. Let's bind the text component with the AppInfo data source. We render this web form. It works. Let's go further. When clicking on the Go button, we navigate on the Tasks web form. Here is the web form. We can search and view employees and create tasks for them. The tasks list is displayed on the right-hand side. Let's implement the search feature. When the user enters text in the search area, matching employees must be searched. We create a search data source of type string. We bind it with a text input component. Let's go on the employee class and write this function. It searches for employees whose first name or last name matches with the given string and returns the result in an employee entity selection. We refresh the Qodly page to have this newly created function available. Note this data table is bound with the employee's data source. Its type is employee entity selection. The initial value is all. On the text input component, we set up a function call. When the onChange event is triggered, we call the search function passing the search data source. We put the result in the employee's data source. Let's render this page. It works. Let's run the last step to create tasks for employees. Note the selected element of the data table is the employee data source. Its type is employee entity. Note also this text input is bound with the subject data source. Its type is string. On the employee entity class, let's add a function to create a task for this employee. It receives the subject as a string and creates a new task for this employee. Back to the Tasks web form, we refresh the Qodly page to have this newly created function available. We call this function when we click on the Create button. When setting up the function call, we select the onClick event. We call this function on the employee data source, passing the subject data source as parameter. Let's have a look at this matrix. It displays all the tasks thanks to the tasks data source. After this function call, we just add a standard action to refresh the task data source with all the tasks. Let's make a complete run now. We create a task for the selected employee, and another one. It works. Thank you for watching.